kind of get away and refocus and then come back and get ready for this game tonight?
Well, obviously, we felt it was important to take a little bit of a break. We had an optional skate on Monday, and there was more coaches out on the ice than there was players. So I guess the players enjoyed the time away. Excuse me, and it was a beautiful day there yesterday. We practiced and got ourselves on a plane to get back here. We were back in town by 4 o'clock. Watched the games last night, and here we are this morning. Hopefully our group is energized and ready to feel fresh and ready to go.
Randy, you said at the beginning of the series that you kind of expected the Oilers to do a little bit of complaining or whining about the face-off circle in particular. You guys have had an advantage in this series. Have you noticed any of that from them?
Well, I don't know what goes on between them and the director of officiating. All I know is that there's a protocol that you meet with the director of officiating, and they're going to have their video clips of what they think are infractions, and we have ours. Simple as that.
Is Patrick Eaves out?
Mike Eaves.
Mike. Yep.
You made that mistake too.
I know.
That's amazing that he made a mistake. It is unbelievable he made a mistake.
Is Patrick out this evening?
He is doubtful.
Randy, when you look at this building was pretty wild the other night, and you look around town, and there's the Oiler banners everywhere. Does that make it difficult for you guys to focus on what you're doing? Do you try to take the crowd out of the game actively?
I don't think it makes it difficult. I think that you learn to appreciate the passion that's in the markets. I'm not immune from the craziness of Canadian markets in playoff time. And a long time ago, there was the Winnipeg Arena. They brought in the whiteout, and it was quite an event. And it was the start of these type of events, and the clamoring and the momentum build up that allows the fan to at least support their group, and a strong support. And it shows that the passion that they display night in, night out, that they're rooting for their hometown team, and they want to become that seventh man to help their team have success.
Randy, I wasn't in Kelowna, but I saw your comments about Connor McDavid and suggesting he's getting the white glove treatment from the referees. What are you seeing, or is that maybe?
We all have tapes in this modern era, so we review things that are happening, infractions that are happening on the ice, and we explain to our players that this is what's going on out there, and we think that there are some situations that people have received preferential treatment. Simple as that. But there are also things that we cannot do. As I stated in the article, and I don't know how some people got it because there was only about 3 or 4 of you there, so people are talking to, I thought they would report on it, but I guess in this viral world, things get out in a hurry.
Randy, if Patrick Eaves can't play, it seems like the Ducks have taken hits throughout the playoffs with missing guys because of injury. Is the team almost kind of immune to that now, where it just goes out and plays with whoever's available and doesn't spend a lot of time dwelling on absences?
Well, again, injuries are always a part of playoff, and they have been, and they always will be. There's going to be injuries that are going to force players into either not performing to 110%, as we all ask. Going to take some players out of situations and take some players out of the lineup. But again, this is a team game, and the strength of your group is usually determined by the number of mistakes that you make compared to the number of mistakes the opposition makes. Now, obviously, we feel that we've been fortunate enough to survive with some key injuries, And we're going to be tested, as every team is going to be tested along the way. I'm sure the Edmonton Oilers have bumps and bruises and people are hurting because of the intensity of the games. It's a team game. It's not one or two individuals. And if we can continue to sell to our group that it's going to take a 20-man effort, and we've proven to ourselves that we can get through some of the hurdles that you're presented with, we feel that that's a strength of ours. We're not relying on one person to do everything for our group. What we're relying on is that we have a structure and a game plan that we put in place, and that we need to execute to the highest possible level and make less mistakes than the Edmonton Hockey Club does.
The video that you talk about with, back to the Connor's treatment by the officials, is that part of a presentation that you make to the director of officiating as well? And what type of response do you get or expect from that?
Well, that stuff has been going on for years. You have an opportunity to meet with the director of officiating or the overseer of the officials for this series, and they assign one at the beginning, and you have conversations on what you think are penalties and what should have been called, and you have a conversation to maybe get an explanation on what they thought your team was doing. So it's not a one-sided, event where you're just going in and you're basically saying, well, there should have been this, there should have been this. That's not the way it works. It's all part of the process, and when you're in the playoffs, and I think it's a helpful process that at least we have an understanding and what the officials are seeing, and they get an understanding of what we feel.
Randy, how would you assess Ricky Raquel's play in the first 3 games, and how much did that early goal there sort of help in terms of increasing his presence?
Again, Ricky's a very talented player, and what you have to understand in the playoffs, the ice shrinks a lot. And we've always stated and went along the premise that in the playoffs, everybody's going to be expected to play 20% better on the defensive side of it. So it's going to be harder to get offense and develop offense because there's not as much space, and everybody is more focused on the defensive side of it. And Ricky's, going to have to push through those things. And he's a tremendously gifted player, and we think that he's got more to give, as we ask all of our group. As the games go on and deeper in the playoffs, we need more from everybody. And the number one thing that we're trying to sell to our group is we were better in the second game than we were in the first game. We were better in the third game than we were in the second game, and we're going to have to be better in this fourth game than we were in the third game, if we can get better every day. All right?